Now, this is interesting, okay, and hear me out on this. Sam Levitt obviously is an elite quarterback, right?
I think
the
they're wide
sophomore
receiver group.
Yeah, okay, yeah. For me, it's wide receivers or it's O-line. And here's why I'm not saying Sam Levitt. Because a stellar freshman year followed by a sophomore
slump.
That's a very real thing, okay?
It
and
is.
That's something that Arizona State fans should be concerned about. That doesn't mean that he's not going to be an elite pro player. That doesn't mean he's not going to have an elite, by the time he graduates Arizona State, hey, he's one of the all-time greats. Sure, but the sophomore slump is very real, and I am anticipating that for Sam Levitt.
Yeah, and for some of the individuals that might not know, what we typically talk about, like sophomore slump, is your freshman year, you typically have a breakout year because nobody has film on you.
Mm-hmm.
Your offense is completely tailored to your personality, your ability to do plays, and your OC realistically is the one that's taking on most of the responsibilities for you, to where like you don't even have to think. You just go out there and you run the play call. If they call a kill, you call the kill. Like, you're not trying to read a defense. Your sophomore year, if you are the guy, they typically start handing you more of the checks and the kills and stuff like that. Maybe you start reading the defense, but by that time, a lot of people are already onto your tricks. They got a full year's worth of film on you, and they're going to be able to come out there for what you thought was going to be your bread and butter and your kind of go-to, and it's just not there anymore. And then you typically see like the spike back up their junior and senior year as they develop, because they're not able to maybe go to the comfort plays as often. And then you realistically, like, to get prepared for the pros, you need to start reading defenses. And I think that really starts coming in towards the end of the sophomore into your junior year, to where, again, Sam Levitt's going to be, I think, really great, especially with their wide receiver core. But when it does come to like the best position group as a whole, I honestly think that you could probably chuck in a Joe Schmo at Arizona State, and if he can even remotely throw a football 15 yards, yeah. I think the wide receivers are still going to eat. So.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, I say they got 4 starting O linemen back, so that's why they were in consideration for that top position group. But yeah, that receiver group's elite.
Gundy proved us wrong on that one. You can't always trust experience.
That is true. But yeah, they got an all-conference tight end in Shimon Matayer. They've got Jordan Tyson, of course, coming back. Tyson had over 1,000 yards receiving last year. Also got Jalen Moss out of the transfer portal, who had over 1,000 yards at Fresno State. Jaron Hamilton, Alabama transfer. Yeah, that's an elite receiver group.
That is going to be an air raid offense first, for sure. My biggest question mark for them, I know that we were hammering on the most talented, which seems like the entire offense, is obviously going to be the running backs.
Yeah.
Like, they still got Udo. Like,
yeah.
He's a really good running back, but like, again, we're not saying that they're the worst. We're just saying that it could be we don't know how they're gonna fare. Like,
and Scadaboo was so good. So good. It's really hard to imagine that you're gonna you don't just flip a switch and replace a guy like that.
Yeah, you're gonna need like a Heisman candidate to replace him and expect the same productivity like the first year that they come in. Like, we're talking like early to middle University of Miami, when they were having those massive runs, like where the players behind them, in fact, were better. But like, nowadays, you can't do that. You can't stack talent.